clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top. Custom sets, landscapes, got a shop. Tunes drop, make the hobby pop. From vintage sets to modern themes, minifig dreams with studs and seams. Castle walls, spaceship beams. Listen close, hear the gear screams. Connecting fans, yo, that's the plan. Building bonds piece by piece, man. Every episode more than just sand. Confidence grand, bricks in hand.
What is up? What is up, everyone? How is it going? Man, we already got somebody in the chat. It's Andrew's birthday. Well, if y'all
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Andrew. Happy birthday.
And once again, Davidson Krause, first in the house.
He's normal. Normal to be first. But this week, same old. But we do have Rich Boy Jay back once again, fresh from Chicago.
Let me interrupt you there. Cascadia is saying hello to me and Rich Boy.
Hello, Cascadia.
Yeah, they're studs. I mean, you know they're not talking about those two.
Dang, got them.
Yeah.
Gene's got jokes tonight.
I know. Gene's got jokes.
He's on it.
Well, it's about time he's on something.
Whoa.
But how did Chicago go?
It was fun. I got in on Thursday, threw together a little Mustafar mock for a collab that I put together. So that was like pretty much the most building that I've done in like a year. But it was cool. It was nice to get back in the swing of things and look for parts and
get those crazy
flowing. I did not buy anything, no. For one, I just didn't have the luggage. I had luggage space, but I did not have luggage weight. My check bag was like right at like 48 pounds. So I thought I'd be responsible. And I mean, I'm honestly a big like convention buyer anyways. Like the prices are just so, I mean, we can make this a topic, but like the vendor convention prices are just out of control. Like they were out of control before, but now it's like a new low somehow. It is. And like it's so just like it's just pointless to buy anything there. Like you see people charging 4 or 5 times Bricklink price for figures. Like it's just it's just so not worth even looking, honestly. Like you go to one vendor and look at prices, and it's just like, oh, why even bother? Why look at any of them if this is what they're going to be asking for? Honestly, the only cool thing about it is just seeing older sets in person. If you just ignore the prices and just appreciate the fact that, like, you know, that box has been preserved and sealed somehow, like that's interesting. But like the thought of buying something very seldom crossed my mind. You know, space concerns out of the picture purely because of the prices that people are asking for. So
I saw a lot of people that were like doing like haul videos of like the stuff they bought, or like a video of, hey, I found this, and it's just like my low knowledge of what some of this stuff costs off the top of my head. I don't know what a convention price would be, but it's like, man, they spent like
a lot of money.
Tons of money.
Yeah. The best example I can give is there was someone at the convention charging $25 for the Captain Rex minifigure that comes in the Microfighter.
Good Lord.
That, like, you can buy that set right now on shelves.
Yeah. That's
like
crazy.
And just for the figure. So
now, there was a convention, I think it was that me and Gene went to. It was Brickfest Live, maybe?
Yeah.
And there was literally people there that were buying sets that you could go to the Lego store and buy, and they were paying 3 times the price.
Yeah.
The key is Lego store,
right? Like they're counting on the general public just not really knowing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess whatever.
Yeah, but this show was 10 minutes from a Lego store.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay's right, though. They're definitely trying to, like, I mean, you get a kid in there, you're taking your kid to see Lego, and Now all of a sudden there's the ability to buy something there. You're going to want to buy something for them, and you're going to pay the price.
Yeah. I would love to, like, I don't know, talk to a vendor and see, like, I mean, obviously they're making enough money to do it, but like, I feel like for some of like the higher end stuff, you know, I would imagine anyone who's willing to pay, you know, $1,000+ for a Lego set would have some idea of like what it's worth. Like for you to be that invested in the set, like you got to have some knowledge of it. So like, how are they like? How like? I feel like there's a certain level where it's like, who would buy that? Like, obviously the hardcore people aren't buying it, but even the general public would look at it and be like, I wouldn't spend that much on a Lego set regardless of what it is. So I don't know. It's weird.
Well, like it goes back to the same thing with the general public is who they're preying on. If you go up to there, or any of us go up to it, I'm going to guarantee and say 99% of the people in the chat, and it's got a ridiculous price. The first thing most of us are going to do if we really want it is try to haggle it down.
Yep.
I've never understood normally when it comes to anything at a convention, I've never bought anything unless it was at like a yard sale at a good price.
Right. And I feel like, I mean, yard sales are obviously usually the way to go. Like that's where you're going to find, as a convention going, that's where you're going to find anything that's pretty much worthwhile. But I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing the past, but like, I feel like there was definitely a time, maybe post-COVID, where like it was actually worth going to convention booths and like you'd find decent deals, and you know, like it was a good time for everyone probably. But now it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of depressing, honestly.
I started a couple of months ago, I'm going to say, it's not been that long ago, where I was talking to my wife, and she's the one that, like, we go to a convention, she's more liable to buy something than me. And I told her that I wanted the Disney Toy Story Green Army Men.
Okay.
I was like, I want like 15 of them just to do, like, even if I want to do a mock later down the road with them, I have them. And it led me into, okay, there's only like, I think there's like 22 Toy Story figures. So I was like, I want all of them. And all of them except for one are pretty reasonable. There's a ham that's pretty expensive, and then Zurg. Zurg's, you know, it came in one set, so I get it.
Is that actually nice? Actually, that's like one of the few Toy Story figures I actually own.
It's like, I mean, it's not expensive, but it's like $55.
Wow. I guess that's good to know. I literally bought that. I bought the Buzz Lightyear Star Command set only because I mean it might have been like $30, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? And I bought it purely with the intention of doing a Cloud City Easter egg where it'd be like Ken and like Buzz and doing the like Buzz, I'm your father scene. I bought it purely for that. I've never even done it, so I don't know if that was worth it, but I guess it's cool to have an expensive figure that I don't think I paid that much for it.
Well, in convention, I don't know convention price. I mean, that could be anything, honestly. I know that I've seen a couple people in the chat. EMS said that she didn't get anything. It looks like there's. Let me go back up. Somebody said they saw the Christmas X-wing for sale. Yeah, Rob said that there was someone selling the Christmas X-wing for $12.50. What is up, Will? Hoarder 66 is in the house.
It's crazy. I don't know if there's any Lego set that I would pay that much for. Like
new Death Star.
Like at that point, like I don't know. There's just like they've made so many minifigures that like there's such a good there's such a good well-rounded array of Star Wars figures that like, you know, some of the like really useful ones can get a little expensive, but the most expensive ones aren't really like useful updated figures, right? A lot of them are like older, more obscure one-offs. So I feel like that, I don't know, like there's other than like completing all of them, like there's no reason I personally would want to get some of those. And then outside of that, like once you start getting to the territory where people are like asking like, you know, $1,000 for an old set, like you're better off just like building a mock, honestly, or building someone else's mock. Like it probably exists out there for not nearly that much money.
Well, it's funny you say that because I literally just had this talk with some people the other day, and then so here's my I guess view on it. Me and George are heavy in the custom printing world because mostly everything that we want to do anything with is custom printed.
Right.
9 times out of 10, and I'm going to say this about Star Wars too, me and George, when we do military anything, there is no other company. Like it's, you've got 3 companies, what they have is what you get. There's not a Lego version. But with Star Wars characters, there's many companies that do different things. And 9 times out of 10, they're always better. You have an actual fan that is printing something versus a company that is trying to, produce money. And of course, there's always things you could do like mix and play with, Lego might have nailed the head on X figure versus the custom printed one not look so good or whatever. But when you come to it, all of us, you're either a collector or a mocker. I know that everybody collects and whatever, but you're either one of those. So if you're buying an expensive set because it's in the box, you're buying it to keep it, to not open it. If you open it and it's just, in my opinion, it was done for you to buy the set. Because the main thing in the set that's worth any money, and me and George just went through this with Caden, I have a list of old school Star Wars sets. I have 3 totes that I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to get rid of them. And I was telling them, I was like, the minifigs I have, but the minifigs aren't with the set. So let me know what you want, and I'll actually make sure I have the minifigs for it. And we were talking about the 2013 gunship. There is no reason that thing should be $600.
Yeah.
The most expensive fig in it is $45, and that's the pilot.
Yep.
Why is it?
Well, is it, or is I feel like the captain's probably a little bit more expensive than that.
Was the
or at least around that? Yeah, the red clone captain in that set. I think that one might be a little bit more.
We'll look it
Either
up.
way, yeah, I definitely get your point.
Yeah, but I mean, even if those 2 figs you buy them for both $100, where's the other $500? Because you could build that gunship for cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
I guess the stickers at that point, I don't know. Whatever.
That brings me to you get into the world of custom. So I'm building the Star Wars mock next. I've got instructions of someone's minifig scale. Well, it's a little bit smaller than minifig scale, but minifig scale gunship. It's literally costing me $300 to build this, and it's big, it's detailed, it has all the moving parts, it looks good. So, at what point do you stop buying the expensive Lego set just because, and actually put the money that you're going to spend for good use for something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at that point, when you're just buying the set at a premium price because it was the set, invest that money into a mock. It'll probably look better. You get more value for the parts. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's still people out there who are just like, oh, I gotta have, this Lego set, but I don't know. I feel like that type of mentality got lost on me a long time ago. There's definitely one point where I was like, oh, these are cool nostalgic sets that I want from my childhood. But at that point, a lot of them were still reasonable, right? It was a little bit expensive, but it was still, I feel reasonable. I didn't feel like a complete sucker paying for it. But nowadays, there's very few retired Star Wars sets that I look at and I'm like I would be happy paying the amount of money that people ask for that.
See, there's not a single retired set that makes me feel that way. There's 3 3 Star Wars sets that I really want. I don't have them. If I bought them brand new, I'm going to open them. So do they have to be new? No. And I've faced the same thing of kind of like we're talking. Do I just go find somebody's instructions or come up with my own to build? I want a dropship. I do not have one.
Yeah.
I would love a turbo tank. I know that we're apparently getting this juggernaut that's coming out, but in my opinion, if they're releasing a set now that was cool back then, it's about to be trash. But I'll hold my opinion on exactly what it is to see what it looks like. And then for some reason, and I don't know why, because it doesn't mean anything, I guess, to most people. I don't know. It's just one of the Star Wars sets I've always wanted is I want the original, what is it called? The Sith Infiltrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The
I mean,
ones from, like,
that's honestly not
$2.
a very expensive set, even at this point.
No, it's not. And like,
Yeah.
see, like the other thing is like, there's a bunch of sets that I've kind of like the Gungan ship. I really want that just because I remember building it when I was young. The only problem is that the Queen Amidala comes with that set, so now it's sky high.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing out there that, in my opinion, there's nothing that I would have to spend money on just because it's a retired set that I have to have.
Yeah.
We've got a,
Yeah, I
we've
feel
got
like
a few
those things at this point have been reproduced in some capacity, where it might be a little expensive now, but there's no there's so many Boba Fett's now, like other than just saying, oh, I have the Cloud City one, like there's no real reason to try to pay the price for that.
No, it's all about clout. It's about what you have.
Right.
Which in a lot of times,
we've got a few.
Do
We've
what?
got a few that we're doing the completionist thing on. Like we have every one of the modulars.
Right.
And to do the completionist thing, you need the real modulars, not the mocks. We have all of the Simpsons, just because I loved the Simpsons when it started.
Yeah.
And then we also have all of the classic architecture, the ones that are by the true architects, not just the sky scenes and all. So like all the Frank Lloyd Wright ones, Mies van der Rohe, those. Beyond that, retired sets can stay. I don't need them.
Or be built like this one and pieced out.
Oh yeah, what I'm building tonight is the Technic Caterpillar D11. It's retired, and we're looking at, so do we keep it and sell it, or do we part it out? I'm gonna build it, play with it for a while, and part it out.
There you go.
It's out of here.
Yeah, but even with the modulars, so I feel like modulars can be a little interesting with that because most of them have, some unique parts that are kind of hard to get after the fact. But I feel like you still, unless you just really want it to be exactly the way it was, there's a lot of workarounds for it. For example, I have a greengrocer and a cafe corner. I never bought the original set to either of those, but using parts of my collection and then some substitutes with the more expensive parts, I was able to build both of them under $100 for either one. So,
right.
I guess it just depends. If you want, in a perfect one, then yeah, you're gonna there's no way around it. You're gonna pay the price of even just the expensive parts of either of those. But I don't know. I'm more than happy with my 98% official cafe corner and greengrocer.
Well, Andrew Castings brought up a really good point. Like the Black Pearl. The Black Pearl was like my white whale for a while. And I bought it. I got it home. It was used, but it was complete with everything almost brand new looking. And I was like, I'm going to build it. And I built it. It's sitting back here. And every time, even while building it, I was like, that right there cost me $500. And I was like, one of the things that was the reason why it's so expensive is the black sails, and the other is the Davy Jones figure. The Davy Jones only come in that one. It's very hard to get. It's like a $300 figure by itself now. Yeah. So I was like, I'll buy it. And then what happens? What, a year later? Now they're releasing another one.
Yeah, it's the circle of life.
Yeah,
the circle of Lego life. That is the line you walk when you go back and you buy, an expensive retired set. They could be, right around the corner. I imagine there are some people who in 2017 when the new Falcon came out, who were still paying thousands of dollars for that original one. And then a month later, the reveal comes out. It's like, oh, well, dang.
Yeah.
So,
Lego Star Wars is really good about just rehashing the same sets, but they update parts, which is understandable.
Right.
But yeah, there's been several that have made the bad financial decision to buy their set they've always wanted just to have it come out a few months later with newer updated parts and better figs. So
yeah, I can only imagine how heartbreaking that is, honestly.
That's the circle of Lego life, like you said. So
yeah,
I mean, I just recently, I've been needing an order to finish the roads for Bastogne for like 6 days now. I finally pulled the trigger last week, and when I made the order, I ordered the Pixar lamp.
Okay.
Is this set worth $70? No, it's not. Not at all.
But it's cool.
But
It is cool. I've definitely had to like almost recondition myself from like what a $70 Lego set looks like in my mind. About 11 times out of 10 is not what a $70 Lego set in 2025 actually looks like. So at this point, like, how could you even be surprised? Like, it's just.
I mean, it's definitely like it's gotten to where if a set picture gets or an idea gets leaked, I'm not going to say a picture. If an idea gets leaked, right now, the big one we're dealing with was the Death Star. They're coming out with the Death Star. It's $1,000. None of us know what it looks like. We all know in our mind. Even I've said it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. But the closer I get to it, the more like reality sets in. And I'm like, I don't know that, is it going to be worth $1,000 to me? Is it, what am I buying it for? Just the fact that I brag and say, hey, I bought $1,000, set. What's the point of it? So I'm kind of waiting.
I mean, that one's kind of a tricky one. I feel like, if we're just using the older one for reference, the 2016 one, I feel like if that exact set came out today, I don't know if it'd be quite $1,000, but that might be like, a $700, $800 set nowadays.
You mean like the play scale one?
Yeah.
I think that would be $1,000 set.
You think it'd be twice the price it was in 2016?
Okay.
Yeah, because look at what was, let me see something real quick. What is the price of, because you got to realize also we're talking about Star Wars.
There is that Disney Star Wars tax. But I don't know. It's just like, I don't know about 1,000. I don't know about 1,000. It definitely would be, I'd say, a few hundred more. I would say, I think there's no way they could get away with making it more than 1,000. I feel like that would like if it was more than, because the Falcon's $850 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't see how they could get away with making it more than that. But I say that like I shouldn't be surprised at this point. Like they'll find a way. They definitely find a way. But I don't know. I would hope that that's not $1,000 set nowadays.
So here's
still think 1,000's a magic number that nobody wants to hit. I think people set a limit in their mind, and 1,000's like that magic number that nobody wants to touch.
So here's a prime example. The 2006 X-Wing fighter.
Okay.
It's 414 pieces.
Yeah, I think it was like a $50
6
set.
minifigures. It came with Wedge, Princess, Luke, Han, Chewbacca, and then the R2 droid. So that right there alone, you're not getting 6 figures with a set now. You're just not, especially at 414 parts. So the one that came out in 2018 is 714 with only 4 minifigures. What do you think the difference in price there is?
The original one was 50. The newer one was, I want to say, 70 or 80.
So it's 80. So you got a $30 increase over 10 years or 12 years, right?
But there's a difference between like, a percentage increase at that scale versus like there's a difference between a $30 increase and a $300 and a $500 increase, like.
So put it like this: do you not think that if they released the Millennium Falcon today, it would have been $1,000?
It absolutely, a Falcon today would absolutely be $1,000, but it was $800 when it came out, so that's only like a $200 increase. Whereas the Death Star, you know, it's only like a 4,000 piece set.
The new one, the one they're talking about.
The 2016 one, the most recent one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like that's. I mean, I don't know, man. I would hope not. I would hope that they wouldn't go that. I feel like that would be a new low. It'd be a new high and a new low for them to do the equivalent of that and charge 1,000 for it.
So how much was the original Death Star? The Death Star 2?
That one was, I want to say 300. I'm pretty sure.
So and then the other one was 6, right?
No, it was 400. The one with the next one with the interior, the 07 one, that was a $400 set. And then they let it go away for like a year. I mean, people were upset when they brought that one back for $100 more.
Yeah,
because they let it retire and then basically brought back the same set with some figure updates for $100 more. And people were upset about that. I could imagine if they brought back the equivalent of that for twice. Like if for somehow that set ends up looking like that original one with like no like exterior, just like Death Star scenes for $1,000. Oh my god!
I mean, I don't see them. I don't see that big of a change, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's one of those things that I have a feeling it's going to happen.
So would you? So you would pay $1,000 for that Death Star if they brought it back out?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
No. Lay down.
But I also, and it means nothing against anyone out there, but I'm not the fanboy of Star Wars that some of these people are.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand these people who go out there, and I know that you don't fall in this category, so I'm not offending you at all. But I don't know how these people that go out there and every Caden's in the chat, and he's one of them. They go out there and buy every single Star Wars set every like release day. I don't understand.
Yeah, no, it's especially now that they do it almost monthly at this point. Like, I can imagine making that many like trips to the Lego store. Like, oh my god! Like
Tyler Vasquez said that Star Trek is better, and it is not.
That is an opinion. I am curious. I mean, they've been doing this for a while. Anyone in the chat, like, obviously, like 3 or 4 years ago, Lego would bring out a wave of Star Wars sets maybe 3 or 4 times a year. There was like January, there's like a May the 4th wave, and they might do like a March one in between those two, and then we got the big summer wave. Now they've kind of like condensed each of those, and like pretty much something new comes out like the first of every month almost at this point.
I wish that they
So
would.
Richard Andrews stealing my show for later. The How If and Much Dark Red hinge pieces, $10 a piece. Those are used. He's got them at 25 for new. I just went and checked it. He's right. I was like, holy crap! Do we have any?
That's crazy.
But I guess my question was just to like people in the chat, like, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer back in the day when waves were bigger and you only had to go like a few times a year, or do you prefer making those multiple trips throughout the year, but maybe there's less money you have to spend each time? I'm kind of curious, like, what the general consensus is on Lego's shift and the release schedule when it comes to at least Star Wars.
I think that they do too much. I think that with Star Wars, I get the May the 4th release, but I think that we should get like maybe a May the 4th release and then one other release throughout the year. They're flooding the market, and it doesn't help the fact that like every time we turn around, there's a new show.
Yeah,
because every time they come out with a show, they're going to release at least a set for it. Does Acolyte have a set?
I don't think so.
I
want to
they
say
came
no.
out with something.
That would be. I know Will probably chime in and say something, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't. Pretty sure that's the only Lego show that doesn't. I mean, not Lego, Star Wars.
I know I kept up with the releases a lot more often when it was just like 3 major releases throughout the year and not 6 or 7 sets every month.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind on what's actually been released, and it really doesn't bother me to try to keep up with it.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I mean, I was working at the Lego store pretty much during most of these, but like when they, like, I don't know, it felt like more of an event when sets came out. Like you got, because they were kind of clustered, you got a lot more options at once. Like you know, I don't know, just I think it just, I don't know, felt a little bit more special. And also, like, yeah, it was a lot easier to keep up with for sure, as opposed to every month, like, oh, let me check. Is there some random thing I need to go pick up? Like, it's so much easier to fall behind now, I feel like, because, you know, it's, I don't know, who has the time? Who has the time other than, like, the really dedicated fans to just be like, all right, it's the first of the month. What's coming out? All right, 30 days later, what's coming out now? Like,
Well,
it's not even a lot.
It's not even that to me. It's also the fact that everything else you got to keep up with. Like, it's not just Star Wars releasing. I mean, if there's any other like sets you want,
right?
I mean, I personally think that they, with what they release every year, is too much. It floods you. I mean, even with Speed Champions, damn, we get like what 10 Speed Champions a year. I mean, we just got 10 F1 cars.
I'm about to say now we're getting 10 in a month, like for one launch. Which yeah, like it is kind of weird now, like that, like in that, I wouldn't even say back in the day, like maybe like 5 years ago. I don't know, like as a fan of Lego Star Wars, like it was so easy to kind of like know all the sets, and nowadays so many get pushed through and just kind of like forgotten about. It's weird to, I mean, that's gonna happen with, as more and more sets are produced anyways, but like I definitely feel like there's more, not only there's more forgettable Lego Star Wars has been, there's just more forgettable sets in general. Like at one point, I could tell you every Lego set that existed that was over $500 because there was maybe, like a handful. But nowadays, like there's just so many like really big Lego sets that I either have forgotten about it or I don't know exist altogether because they're just constantly being pushed through and retired and pushed through and retired.
Well, it also goes to the point of you, like with I'm going to use Star Wars because it's like the main thing here. But like with Star Wars, for instance, I'm going to use the Death Star again for the example. The Death Star came out, and if me and you were talking, and we're talking about a Lego set, and I said, hey, like, I'm going to use the Republic gunship. I was like, man, Jay, that's crazy. Did you get the Republic gunship? And you would go, which one?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, that's the big thing about it. It's like, oh, do you have the Death Star? Well, which one?
Yeah.
Like, it's just I don't know. Like I said, I'm glad we're getting stuff. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, like, to what point does it just need to chill?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I mean, it's becoming harder and harder to keep up with, as like, I think the average set size has this is something people don't really talk about a lot, but like the average set size in general has just like drastically increased over like the past 10 years. And I think there is something to be said for, like, obviously inflation, is going to happen, and a $30 set nowadays isn't, a $30 set from 10 years ago. But why do they not have as many options at $30 as they did, 10 years ago?
Well, I will say this. Me and Gene have talked about this for the past 3 weeks now. Caden was on last week, and we talked to him about it. There's a couple people in the chat agreed. And this might be the complete wrong opinion, but you want to know the one theme that I think has the best selection of like price points?
What's up?
The One Piece stuff that's about to drop.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
There's both brick heads, which are $10 a piece. There's two $30 or $40 sets, There's a $80 set. There's a $130 set, and then there's a 300 UCS set.
I still don't love that. I mean, that's not bad, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's something to be said. I mean, when I was a kid, you get the opportunity to go to the toy store, and you could get like $20 or $30, and you'd have like many options, right? But nowadays, like, I'm gonna set the brickheads aside because I feel like, I mean, that's a very niche thing. Like, that's not like you don't get the Lego play experience from those.
Yeah.
But like the barrier to entry is already $40. Like, that to me, that feels like a lot. Like, even if the $10 set, even if like a $10 or $15 set nowadays is not super substantial, I just feel like the option should be there so you're not forced to spend $40 just to get that like baseline experience. And even nowadays, like, in order to get like a normal Lego Star Wars set that's not a micro fighter or a battle pack, like they're even like they're kind of like pushing past $30 now. It's like they're making 45 almost like the minimum when it comes to a lot of those sets.
No, if you're buying a Star Wars set that's a battle pack. Under $80 is a battle pack.
Yeah.
Like what so Hoarder, Papa Trip said that it's very, very good. He thinks that 70 was his memory, talking about like some sets. And then Hoarder even said that, you could go get a night set for $7.
Yeah.
You could go get like one night, a cart, and some other little pieces. Maybe like a little mountain build.
Yeah. Like I think if I could change anything about modern Star Wars or modern Lego Star Wars across the board, I would just want more lower price options. Like, I mean, it's very clearly becoming more of an adults thing. I think, for better or worse, Lego is kind of actively like excluding kids from Lego Star Wars, and we'll see what kind of effects that has down the line. But I mean, the options could be there, even if you have to raise the price of like, your battle packs or your microfighters. Like, I don't know, maybe like have, maybe something a little bit less substantial than a microfighter for $10 just to give someone the opportunity to get in. And even if they don't want to buy all the big stuff, like, I think they deserve the Lego experience,
Oh yeah, but you're 100% right. I mean, it's not geared toward kids anymore. I mean, it's in that I believe is like a I don't know. We all wanted adult sets, and now that we're getting adult sets, it's like I'm gonna call it the need, but the need for all the little small sets aren't there anymore, even though we want them. You know what I'm saying?
Back.
I mean, yeah, I suppose. I think. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I guess you're not technically wrong, but I look at it from from a collector's perspective. Even like the more cheaper sets you're getting, the less expensive things will be in general. Like, I'm very like I mean, as someone who pretty much buys all the Lego Star Wars sets, like, it doesn't do much for me if like there's like an expensive figure locked behind a big Lego Star Wars set. Like, sure, I get the sense of pride of like, oh, I own this toy that other people can afford, and I guess some people like that. But like, for me, like, I would rather the community have access to more things than have so many Lego Star Wars figures, $100 plus, $200 plus, and like everyone's just suffering because of it. Sure, maybe my collection's worth more, but I think I'd rather everyone be a lot happier and have access to these things than have them, behind the higher price points. And when you have more sets that are at lower price points, like, you proliferate the market with cheaper things in general, which, I'm a big proponent of.
Well, even with
my argument is it's not Lego gouging; it's just a product of the economy. I just did a pricing exercise. Republic Gunship 2002 was $89.99 in 2002.
Yep.
That same $89.99 in today's dollars is $161. So if you're comparing apples to apples, if you're calling a Republic Gunship an entry point in 2002, then $160 set is entry point now.
But
That's
I mean,
straight up
sure, but you could still like Lego can make a $10 set. Like, even if it was just a poly bag, like it would still be something, you know, like
Yeah.
Like it would like it's very possible. If it's a figure in a small scenery thing, it would still be something. It wouldn't be what you'd get for $10 back in the day, but it would be an option, you know.
I mean, I agree with that. I still think that Cascadia said, I feel like Lego is making all the small 18 plus age sets gift with purchase instead of standalone sets, like the buildable lightsabers in the Lord of the Ring gift with purchases. That's true too. Lego is gonna hide a lot of, you know, they are not gonna lose money.
Oh yeah, no, they're way past that. They figured the game out.
Yeah.
You don't want them to. You don't want them going away.
Well, but like I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that knows this like I do, but so there was a huge thing of comic books back in the day. Comic books came out, that everybody started loving them, and in the early 90s, they just like crammed everything in the world down everybody's throat. If you wanted to keep up with the storyline, you had to buy like 9 different comics from 9 different like stories to keep reading about this one. It wasn't, and it was like, you know, you didn't have Spider-Man, you had the, you know, Spider-Man, you had the Web of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Peter Parker. Then you had Venom, you had, you know, Maximum Carnage. You had to keep up with everything. And when you do that, you turn a hobby of somebody going, oh, well, I can go to the store this month, spend $20, get 5 comics, and keep the story going next month, go back to read it, to where you got to buy 9 comics at $10 a piece, and now it's $100 a week. Which I do not think comics are that much. I think they're like $6 right now, $5 or $6. But still, you get the point.
I definitely do feel like I mean, surprisingly, we've not gotten there yet, but there probably is going to be a point where like enough will be enough. Like, or Lego will kind of push the boundaries with what they can ask for certain sets, and you know, they might roll back. Hopefully, I would hope so, but they've clearly not gotten to that point yet.
Do you think there'll ever be a and I might be wrong about this. I'm trying to think to make sure there's not already one. But do you think there'll be like a Death Star, for instance, where instead of $1,000 Death Star, you have to buy 4 pieces of it for like, you know, $250 a piece?
I would actually love that. The closest I can think of is like kind of like how they did Hogwarts multiple times, where you know, they weren't $250, but like, you know, kind of over time they would roll out like a $70 to $100 set, and then you even got your small ones kind of mixed in there, and they could all culminate to, you know, however big you wanted your Hogwarts to be.
Yeah.
Obviously the Death Star a little bit more constrained with the shape, but I would love it if Lego did more stuff like that, like, you know, kind of giving you giving you something you could add on to over time. Like pretty much the only thing you have with that are like the modulars, and even those aren't like, I mean, you add to them and collectively they look impressive, but like, I don't know, there's not a super defined big picture with that. But
in my opinion, and this might be like very controversial, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I think that Harry Potter absolutely kills it.
I agree. I mean, I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but like just with the Hogwarts thing alone, like conceptually, I think that's just awesome. Like how you could, you know, you could make it as big as you want. Like they could come out with like a big $1,000 Hogwarts, which, you know,
it's
I don't
coming.
know.
It's coming.
Okay.
I had great hope. I had great hope that that's what Rivendell was going to be the beginning of. That would have been a great one to grow.
So as a collector, would you prefer Rivendell is what, like $500? Would you have preferred for Rivendell to have come out as one $500 set, or like 3 or 4 $120, $150 sets over time?
It's a good question. I think it would have hit the market better as multiple sets, but it was one really good build. I love that build.
It is a great build. It is a great build. I totally agree. I feel like for fans, like from a consumer standpoint, like for us, yeah, it's a lot easier to spread that out over time as opposed to having to drop the one big lump sum at one time. So,
well, I think they would have sold more if they'd have done it as a modular kind of setup.
Right.
Because you'd have hit that market, somebody would have bought the $100 one, and they would have been like, "Oh wow, this is awesome! Now I got to have the $150 addition to it, and I got to have that $75 addition to it." I think they would have sold more overall if they'd have done it kind of in a modular sequence.
Well, the other thing you have in that same avenue that Gene's talking about is they might have released a $250 part at first, like the first section is $250. That third part might only be $75. Somebody buys that $75 set, falls in love with it, and now they got to go back and buy the other two.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's not necessarily, but almost kind of like a try before you buy. Like, it's a lot easier to get invested in, like, and excited about something when you can at least have some piece of it to start out, as opposed to like, well, I want to have none of it until I get all the money for it, you know, at some point. So, yeah, it honestly is surprising that.
Then what happens to a bunch of people? They get all that money, and then they look at it and they go, "Holy crap! It took me forever to gather that money. Do I really want to drop it on one Lego set?"
Exactly. Yeah. I would love to. I would love to know if there's, you know, if there's maybe some research they've done where that's not like a good idea. I don't know. I have no idea.
Christine Harper said that she would love if all the bigger sets were small in the divider. And Will said that he thinks the Death Star should be multiple sets that you buy over time and put together. But what I was saying a minute ago, I will say, and I will go on record if somebody wants to like timestamp this or whatever you want to do, with the Death Star being the first $1,000 set we get, the next $1,000 set will be Harry Potter.
Really?
I believe so. I believe it's not going to be quick. I mean, I don't even think it'll be in the next 2 or 3 years. Because you can still go buy Hogwarts now, can't you?
Yeah.
Actually, I have no idea.
There's two different market segments, though. The kind of people that are buying Harry Potter are typically not the ones that are dropping the huge bucks and so much completionists, other than my daughter. But that's the anomaly.
If I had to guess, I think, after the Death Star, the next $1,000 set will be something like the Titanic or some like landmark, like something kind of along those lines, like something with that kind of mass appeal.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Not thinking like outside of IP address. I can see that.
Yeah. $1,000 Hogwarts though, man. That's so the most expensive Harry Potter set up until this point is it? I mean, is it the Hogwarts or Diagon Alley? I don't think they've done anything bigger than either of those, right?
How much was Gringotts?
I have no idea. I want to say like 350, but I don't know for sure.
I think it was like, I don't know. I think the castle when it came out was because it got put up with the price increase.
Yeah.
But I think it was like it's like 400. I don't think that Diagon Alley was that expensive.
I want to say it was the same price as the Hogwarts castle, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were both 400 at one point.
But I will agree with you there. I was wrong. The next $1,000 set will probably be something like a landmark or something like that.
I'm trying to what could even what would be popular enough for them to get away with that? Like a Statue of Liberty?
No, the Statue of Liberty would never be $1,000. Like I don't even know how you would do that.
I'm trying, that's just one that they did back in the day. Maybe like another grand carousel type thing. I don't know. I feel like it would. I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if it were something like old that they kind of like redid. But
I mean, I could see like a Golden Gate Bridge.
That could be cool. Yeah.
I just don't know how. I mean, it's not very. It's pretty repetitive, but
what's the other really long set? The Harry Potter train thing. That's a really long set, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess Titanic. What's longer, the Titanic or the Harry Potter train thing?
Ooh,
I'm not sure.
I thought Titanic's pretty good size.
Yeah.
Titanic
Chris
was
says that the
46
new Harry
inches.
Potter series could drive sales like
I
Richard.
know, 56.
Diagon Alley is $400 and it's retiring this year.
Okay.
Yeah, Cascadia said I've heard people say the Golden Gate Bridge because that would fall under like multiple. That's like art. Then you all, I mean, like architecture too, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, and then again, another. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know how they would do it, and I'm not saying that it'll be anytime soon. But man, a next supercar could be freaking $1,000.
How much are they now? I haven't kept up with those in forever, but how much do those cost now?
400.
Okay.
349, 399. And that's one of those. I'm a completionist on those, but I don't build them. They're all in a closet right there, waiting on retirement. That's going to be my Alaska cruise money.
There you go. Do you have that original orange Porsche from back in the day?
Yep.
2 of them. You want one?
Okay, there you go. Nice.
And I got one for Richard that like stole it off the floor price.
I'll say I've got one. That was so like when we were talking, kind of the same thing how we're talking now, but not with new stuff. There was for a while I would chase sets. Like I wanted the orange Porsche, so I did what I could to get the orange Porsche. I wanted the UCS AT-AT. I ended up the UCS AT-AT and a couple of the other ones I'd done as like a challenge maybe, and it might be a challenge of stupidity, but like I told Haley, I was like, and I don't think George has heard this story because he wasn't around when I was doing this. First one I did like this was Mos Eisley. I wanted Mos Eisley, but I was like, I buy enough Lego, I do it for the show and everything else that I want to be able to walk into a Lego store and walk out with it for free, using nothing but points. So that being like a 300 and I don't know what it was, 330, 340?
350, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so that right there was nothing. But then like next, I'm like, I want to do it with the UCS AT-AT. So I did. I walked in and the UCS AT-AT cost me like, I think it was like $17 in taxes.
I mean, it actually cost you like a few $1,000.
Yeah, it did. It did.
You do the math right.
That's the stupidity part of it. Yes, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is I was going to spend that money on Lego anyway.
Right.
So
I got you.
It isn't like that I snuck out to spend all of that money just to get it.
Your math ain't mathing.
I'm just glad you said it wasn't a UCS Hoth set that you were after.
No,
that set is so overhated. Oh my god, people are like, that set got way more hate than it deserved. Way more hate than it deserved.
I mean, I like the idea, but it really feels like it was just a bunch of the sets that they threw together and called it a UCS set and changed a few parts.
I was cool with that. Like, if you just want to get like an entire collection of Hoth stuff, like I don't see like the problem with it.
I mean, there's no problem with it. I didn't have most of those sets. A few of them I did, but it just felt like there wasn't any effort put into it on Lego's part, is what I'm getting at. I feel like they could have done something cooler, like a scene from the hangar with the Falcon or snow speeders.
Something more comprehensive, I guess.
It just felt like they took a lot of play sets and threw them in a box. So, I mean, it was good concept, just poorly executed.
Will said that he's waiting for a figure scale Great Wall of China.
Ooh, that'd be a big set.
Jeez.
Tyler said that he wants more beach tropical kits from Lego City as well as food beverage trucks. The food trucks are actually pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love those.
The burger truck. The burger truck that's a burger is like, that's a pretty cool asset. Along with the hot dog truck, that one was another pretty cool one. And no, Andrew, I do not think they'll ever release a $1,000 castle set.
I mean, on one hand, like that's kind of like an iconic Lego thing, but yeah, $1,000 might be pushing it in terms of like Like there'd be like a handful of people out there who would buy it, but yeah, I don't know if that would have.
I think
enough
that falls
mass
under the
appeal to
modular
justify it.
thing. It would be such a niche market.
Yeah. Like
That
if
better
they've
be
not,
like-
if it's not been worth it for them all this time to even have a castle theme, then
Yeah.
probably not.
So that would have to be a pretty good size castle and a lot of
Which is dumb because
peasant
we all
houses
keep
outside of
asking
the
for
castle.
we all keep asking for castle, and they keep releasing them in this Bricklink program.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense. Like every time they come out with a castle set, it does extremely well. The Viking Village, if you want to throw that in there, that did really well. The medieval market they just came out with, that did really well. The 3-in-1 castle didn't do too bad. The Lion Knights castle, I feel, was one of the coolest sets.
Very cool.
That's a very cool set. And now I don't know, like everything else I've seen is all Bricklink program.
So this is kind of a random topic, but looking at all these modulars makes me have to ask. So when did the big, I forget what it's even called, the bigger like anniversary modular come out? When was that? The one, it's like twice as big as any of the other ones. It's like a basically half wide.
Are you talking about the
Assembly Square? That's what it's
Assembly
called.
Square. I was gonna call it Town Square.
Yeah. When did that come out?
Not too long ago because I have it.
Okay.
I think that might have been so. You had
Was that like the 10th modular? Was that? I don't want to say it was like an anniversary thing.
Well, you had the last year. So you got the museum, the boutique hotel, the bookshop, the Texas
Diner.
office, the jazz club. So it was 6 years ago, I'm guessing. Gene would be the one to answer that.
Talking about Assembly Square.
Assembly Square.
Yeah, is it like an anniversary one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Cascadia says it was the 10th modular. So I bring this up, at this point, we're only like 3 away from number 20. I'm honestly shocked they've even at this point not done it. But like, how would you guys feel about like a $500-$600 modular, but it's like a skyscraper or something really tall? Would it? The pushback I've heard is that like it would look out of place being so tall next to everything else.
Well, here's why I don't think it would be a skyscraper is because the buildings they've done for modular aren't, even though they're like shops and stores, they're not city. I mean, It's not like a building that you would see in a normal city.
Right.
I think that they had the chance to do that with the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle should have been bigger.
Okay. I mean, it's already pretty big, but I got you.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to have a skyscraper, so technically they built the Sanctum Sanctorum to be put in with the modulars.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little taller than some, a little smaller than the other, but it fits in.
Right.
And it butts up to the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle should have been another, I'll say, foot higher.
Wow.
If you're going to make it a skyscraper, I mean, you got to think the Avengers Tower. The Avengers Tower is like what? Isn't it like 9 to 10 inches bigger than the Daily Bugle?
Probably.
And if I'm not counting the antennas on top, you can take all that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that adds extra height to us short folks.
Yeah. So I think, if something that could make sense that isn't just like a skyscraper is maybe for number 20, if they wanted to do, another hotel to harken back to the original one, but it was just a tall hotel. I feel like I could see something along those lines happening. Even if it's not like crazy tall, just like, I don't know.
The other thing that goes along with that too is, and I know that you go to more conventions than I do, so I know you see this. There is a ton of people that will buy 4 or 5 modulars of the same one and just make them taller.
Yeah.
It doesn't, the insides don't matter as long as the outside has the uniform look of going up. So I mean, I could see that.
You know what's kind of funny? I don't know if do you own the Cafe Corner?
Cafe Corner? No.
Yeah, the original modular.
No.
Oh, the original one.
So yeah. So well, I guess technically was Market Street the original? I don't know. I always forget.
Yeah.
Okay. Cafe Corner.
Corner.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
we got them all in order.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So in the original instruction book, if you look in the back of the Cafe Corner, Lego has a few pages with like that are kind of like dedicated to promoting people buying multiple modulars. There's like a picture of like, oh, if you buy 4 Cafe Corners, this is what it looks like. Or if you buy 8 Cafe Corners, this is what it looks like. Which is honestly like probably the most insane marketing I've ever seen them do. But obviously they've kind of given up on doing stuff like that. But it is funny that back then they were actually actively promoting people going out and spending, an extra $100 to get the middle level of a modular to make it $1.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy to look at. If you ever get the chance to just look at the digital instructions of the Cafe Corner and go to the back, there's some wild recommendations for multiple builds.
Well, that's something I will tell you though. I mean, it's a totally different topic, but I miss being able to like look at a Lego instruction book or like the little flyer they gave you with them. Like, I don't think I've ever showed y'all this. There was a guy, Haley actually got them. Don't know where they came from. Somebody at Brick Fair. If you're watching this show and you wanted to keep it a secret, good job. They gave Haley to give me all of these like old school posters.
Oh, nice.
I miss those.
Like cool. It has every castle set made to show you how to like play with them, and then you can like flip it on the back. There's like all the pirate sets and what you can do with them, all the city sets and how they, what you can do, all the ice planet, and then like this obviously came in a castle set because of the poster, but then like this right here was the pirate one.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, why is my ode like one thing that I wish they would do, and I don't think Lego would ever do it now, especially with how they're trying to get away from like plastic bags and stuff. But I love being able to get that box at the store and open it up and see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like, I don't think, and we were actually I was gonna maybe do this as a future. Because me and George always look for different things to bring to the show, and then Gene surprises us with like stuff he finds. I really want to do a whole like, I guess, topic about the things that you used to be able to buy with Lego sets. Like there is one of my favorite sets is the OG UFO sets that are actually called UFO. I didn't care for it much, the what I'm about to say, because they came with a mask. Like you could buy a mask. The set box was a mask. When I got back into Lego and I was like, it's just not something I really care about getting. Like I'm gonna hold off, and then like I saw like one come across Instagram, and then there was. Do you know Ash Potatoes?
I do not know.
She got one, and I'm gonna call him my connection. It's my plug. If I want something, he will find it at a decent price. And I hit him up and I was like, what's the chances of you getting this for me? And within like 20 minutes, he was like, I'll have it at Brick Fair for you. And I have it now.
Okay.
That's how I got the Black Pearl.
Nice.
So it's like, I wish they did stuff like that.
You know what's sad about the poster point you bring up?
So Jay, Tori builds all the modulars. So I hadn't seen that in the instruction book. I went and looked at it just now. That is pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, it's really cool. They show the normal modular, then they show mocking the modular into like a row house. Then they show two of the cafe corners and how big that would be. Then they show two of them making a mirror image and putting them together as a longer hotel. Then they got 3 as a kind of medium rise hotel and 6 as a huge hotel.
Yeah.
I'll have to print that.
You don't have enough
What
money
now,
for
mind
that.
you, that could have been done back in the day. If it was $100, you could have bought 6 of them for $600 to do that. Now,
Right.
6 of them are $300. You're not about to drop $2,000.
Exactly. But I was going to say, what's kind of sad about that poster thing now is like, I feel like nowadays there aren't enough original themes like that for Lego to even make a poster.
There really isn't.
You'd have City,
Sadly.
Friends, Ninjago.
I don't think you would do Friends.
I mean, probably not, but I'm just like, what? You don't have very many other options, unfortunately.
We were so I hate to like say Star Wars because Star Wars is that, but like imagine your battle pack, right? Your battle pack now is what, $30?
And that's what's that right
Yeah,
there?
pretty
Imagine
much.
if it was $40, but it came in a box and the box had like just I mean, it doesn't have to be great, but just like a crappy mask that you could put on, like the old school party masks. There was like a plastic with like a string around the back.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I'll see you later, Papa.
As an adult, I don't know if I would get excited about that. But if it was like a full blown, you could put on clone trooper helmet, I'd get excited.
Yeah, there you go.
Will said, "Why are you gatekeeping your plug? Gene is here and can speak for himself." Gene's not the plug when it comes to that stuff. Gene has cool pieces, but if you want like old school sealed sets that are pretty cheap, I can find them. I will tell you, the only time I've ever used this plug for anything Star Wars, I told him, well, twice now because he's got me something else for Brick Fair, but I told him that we were joking about. I'm not a completionist. Jay has, I don't know how far you have, but you're collecting every single Lego Star Wars minifig, right?
Yeah.
So I am not that guy. I am not that guy on any whatsoever, like theme, whatever. I was joking with my plug, and I was like, one of the things that I have is I'm a huge fan of molded animals.
Yeah.
And I was like, when it comes to Star Wars, I was like, man, I have like 2 Wampas. I have like, I think 5 or 6 Tauntauns.
Okay.
And I was, the dewback that came in the Mos Eisley.
Yep.
And he was like, well, what about the Rancor? I was like, I don't have the Rancor. I bought the entire Rancor set for $110.
Wow. When was this?
Last year.
Bruh, that's crazy. That is crazy.
So, but full disclosure, he does spend a lot of money at shows buying sets. It's my money.
Yeah, I don't. So Jay, not last year, year before last, Gene tells me that him and Tori are going to get into just screw it. Let's get all the modulars we're missing. I'm at Brick Fair and the yard sale set up. And if you're walking in the door, there's a table like in the very back right corner, almost where like the bingo and everything was.
Yeah.
Walk past this table and they have, I think it was 2 of the modulars still sealed.
Yeah.
Of course, the boxes are 11 years old, and I'm like, I don't really trust it, but they're sealed. And I was like, told the guy I was interested in them. We were negotiating on a price. We agreed, and I was like, I even told the guy, I was like, this is how this is going to go down. I was like, I'm about to hand you I think it was like $1,800. I was like, but before I hand you that money, I am going to cut the tape on these boxes and look inside to make sure the stuff is in here. And he was like, I don't agree with that at all. I was like, why? He was like, because what if you just cut the tape and say, well, you don't want it? I was like, I'm telling you right now. I was like, I will PayPal someone else standing here the money. I was like, I will give you the money. I was like, but the thing is I am cutting these boxes open. And he was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not risking that. What happens if you don't like it? You could be screwing with me. And I was like, once again, I don't know what you want me to do, but the only way that I'm handing you this money right now is if you let me cut the tape on this box. And he was like, can't do it. And I was like, okay. So I walked away, and like, as I'm walking away, one of his friends comes and gets me. And he's like, dude, come here and look at it. Just come here and open the box. Because I was told there was a bunch of, one of the modulars that I got him, there was something with the base plate. I don't know if it was, they were thrown in the boxes weird and like the instructions would slam again, because it was like a 16 by 32, I think. And it would like, I don't know.
I don't remember it. There was something weird,
Will said, I miss when Jay had a channel, especially miss all the mock updates. Is Camino still being built? We have another Camino fig coming soon.
Oh, thank you. I very much appreciate that. I've not really worked on Camino since the last update, but it is still existent. And I'm hoping, hopefully later this summer I'll have some time to get back to it because I do very much want to finish that mock for sure. So it's all hope is not lost. Camino will be back eventually.
So I was I was telling George about it before you joined earlier. I want other people's opinion, and Will's a good one in the chat. So I've said forever that I was going to build Star Wars, and like I put it off like crazy, right? Like I have yet to do anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I finally told everybody. I came out and was like, "Look, I'm going to build the slums of Coruscant and do something cool with it."
Yeah.
In the past week, the fact in my mind that was like it just keeps yelling clone base, clone base, clone base. I still want to do the clone base. So I wish Papa Trip was here, but I've been talking to Papa Trip and I told him that, if he wants to help design this, I'm down. But I've done every build in the past big mock I've done. The castle was, even though it was just one big castle, there were so many modular parts to it, and it was like building a bunch of buildings. Bastogne, I mean, right now it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has 21 buildings in it.
Okay. Wow.
I don't want to build another city. I've built a city before. The slums of Coruscant would be cool, but I am going to build. I talked to Papa Trip and me. We're talking. I was talking about doing like a Venator hangar bay.
Okay. That's unique.
But it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't tickle my fancy because there's no terrain. There's no nothing. So what I want to do is go back to my original plan, make up a base, just make up a planet wherever. If someone wants to give me an idea of what planet, that way I know what plants, ground color, and all that to use. But I am going to build a base and basically show the Order 66 going down. None of this is canon. None of these all these Jedi are going to be made up. I'm going to use all the Jedi that I had created for the Coruscant slums. I'm going to use the aliens. But it is pretty much going to be a base that total destruction is going down in.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody do that before. Every Star Wars mock I've seen is shown like maybe an explosion on the ground from like a bomb or something. I'm going to do the original plan I had with the main scene in it being an AT-TE shooting its cannon and blowing a hole through the side of the base.
Okay. So my one... If you were still open to the Venator hangar thing, I think one way you can kind of get the best of both worlds, since terrain was such a consideration, is if you built the Venator hangar base as part of like a Kashyyyk display, because in episode 3, like for the Battle of Kashyyyk, a giant Venator basically just parks on the planet.
Yeah.
And they roll all the troops and vehicles out from like the hangar onto Kashyyyk. So if you wanted to do like a partial like hangar and like a Kashyyyk landscape, that could be a way of being able to do both of those things.
I can see that.
Do one that's crashed and the hangar's exposed, open to the terrain.
No,
you can do that too. Yeah,
that's too big.
No,
that's too big.
Go big or go home. Come on, man.
So George didn't know you until you came on today. He's never seen what you've done, and he always keeps telling me to go big. Did you look and see what?
I did my due diligence. I went and looked. That's some impressive scale. Holy cow!
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't like doing that much landscaping and detail work.
I don't really either, but somehow I just end up forcing myself into it.
Yeah. Oh, you really have to. That's it's beautiful work. So my hat's off to you. Whew. I couldn't. I don't know if I could do anything that large, that detailed.
But that's my thought process, is just going back and doing my original plan which was making a clone base.
So my question would be, why is an ATT attacking the clone base? Why is it
not attacking the clone base?
So why is it blowing a hole in the side of the base?
To get out.
Okay, interesting. Why why can it not get out?
Well, that's what I was going to show, was the Jedi being there like while it was happening, like basically being a fight of the Jedi versus the clones. The plan originally was it being a made up planet somewhere or whatever, where basically it was a Order 66 is happening, and the clones are coming to look for these Jedi that are hidden in this base. Right. And outside of it, there being the hangar bays where the the gunships are landing.
Right.
And on the inside of it, I was going to show an ATTE coming out and blowing a hole through the side of it.
Got you. Okay, I see. One idea, I mean, I don't know if you're set on doing a made-up planet, but there's like a clone base on Coruscant, and there's like a Clone Wars arc where they show kind of Ahsoka being held there in like the prison area. But that could be maybe something if you want to have like Jedi fighting clones there as well. Like, I don't know, that could be something worth looking into. The compound itself looks awesome. Like, it's a very cool looking build, and I don't know, could be something worth looking into.
I mean, I don't know. I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. I would have to like look into that. My other thing is that I and one of the reasons I love when people do hangar bays, but I feel like anything you can do in a hangar bay has been done. You're going to have vehicles parked inside. You may show like some explosions happening from, troops shooting some type. You have the TANF where it was the stormtroopers versus the rebels. And then you have when Attack of the Clones, when the Venators were being attacked by the droid. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I feel like all that's been done.
Okay. I got you. Yeah. I got you.
So I don't know.
The only thing about, I guess the build that you've pitched is for it to be even close to like a formidable battle. Like, you'd need quite a lot of like Jedi to combat the droids.
Well, right now I have 15 Jedi made. Those are just going to be put random places in the Coruscant when I have them. But the other thing that makes me keep leaning into this is if I was going to do Coruscant, I wasn't going to put that many clones in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got over 500 clones.
Okay.
So
a lot of clones.
I'm not going to say I have to utilize them, but I mean, if I got them, why not, right?
For sure, yeah. Are they all 501st, or you have various legions?
No, I have 332nd, 501st, the 187th, and then I have I didn't do like the full because I think they're way too detailed, but I have a crap ton of just random phase 2 that are all in like legions using the Clone Army heads and some paladins and stuff like that.
Got you. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're finally building Star Wars. It's about time.
Haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Don't let them forget. Don't let them off the hook.
I still want to see the Coruscant slums. I've never seen a Coruscant build.
Yeah, but like, I'm just so afraid that it's just going to be another like cyberpunk city.
I mean, that's fine. That's cool.
Another cyberpunk city, but with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, and of course, it doesn't exist in anything but actual like fan art. So like, if you Google pictures of it or whatever, it's all like, it looks like futuristic Vegas with clone troopers.
I think there's some Clone Wars reference material you could use that I think would be beneficial. Like, there's a whole arc basically where Ahsoka kind of goes to the lower levels and she's doing various things there. The whole arc isn't on Coruscant specifically, but there's like a good amount of stuff for reference there that you could use?
What's the where she meets the two sisters that are
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure there's an episode in the Kenobi series where he's kind of in the lower levels of Coruscant, and he runs into I think it may have been Rex, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was a random clone trooper, wasn't it?
Yeah, random clone trooper, kind of just sitting on the ground covered with a blanket,
Right.
and didn't recognize him. But there's some good reference material out there. You just gotta look.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm so indecisive. I'll be honest with you. 100%. I already want to do like what's coming after next to Star Wars. Like it's already designed, and it's like it's going to be the first thing that I've ever built that I can literally go look at reference pictures for.
He's already trying to get out of the Star Wars build.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm just the thing is like I said, there's just so many. Like, I mean, you just came from Brickworld, man. How many freaking Star Wars things were there?
I mean, there's a good amount, but like, I don't know. I feel like anyone with like an artistic vision, like, you can bring something unique to the table. Like I saw an indoor build. There's a million different indoor builds, but it's like the most unique indoor build I've ever seen. The guy had basically like an ATST, like motorized, like walking, like in place in the indoor build. And that's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like that was my favorite thing at the whole convention. So like, I feel like even at this point, you know, I feel like anyone can bring something unique to the table. You just kind of got to figure out what it is.
I mean, and that's, I guess the spot that I sit on. I'm gonna clean all this up so I can quit building this. But I had a baggie for all these extra parts, and I don't know what I did with it.
There you go, Richard.
Hey, let me get that. I like legit had it like I dumped the pieces out of the bag, so it has to be somewhere. Found it. But yeah, I don't know. I want to do something that hasn't been done before. I want to stand out. This is going to sound so dumb, but it might be like, I guess, chasing things. But I've been on Beyond the Brick, so now I want to do it every time. Every build, I want to be on there.
Okay.
And I don't know, like I just feel like I have to do something worthy to be on there.
Got you.
This thing right here is actually pretty cool to be a modular, by the way. I hate the fact that it's not Lego. The lights I love the pieces that they give you so you can run lights. They're like bricks that are hollow on the top, so you can run the lines through them. That's really nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with this after I get done with it. I don't know what I have the ship that I still don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure you still have the ship.
I do actually. Do you want me to go get it?
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
The Yamato is not intact. It's in pieces, but I still have it.
Richard, I have one request for you to not do with that.
What's that?
Do not throw it in that tub of stuff coming to our house.
I didn't even think about
that.
that.
It will kill you.
I could dump that whole ship in there, but I would want it to be individual pieces. I don't want, because it's like it's in a liquor bottle box, and I only broke it down just so it would fit in there. So it's like the top section is broken a couple pieces, the bottom section is like split off as much as possible, and then like the deck pieces are literally just raked off into there. Other than what came apart from me shaking it because I was going to do a video that I decided it would be. I have not done anything.
That's good. I have a funny knockoff Lego story. Back in the day, not really back in the day, this was maybe like 2015, 2016. I bought a Mace Windu figure from eBay. It wasn't super expensive. It was maybe like $25, but the seller, it took them like 3 weeks to finally ship it, which already had me on edge. So when they finally ship it, they accidentally send it to the wrong person. So I'm just like, come on now. Like, you're gonna wait all this time and then still send it to the wrong person. So they messaged me and they're like, hey, I want to see if I can get the figure back. Otherwise, I have another one I can send you, but it's like, let me see if I can get it back from these people first. So I'm like, okay, whatever, do what you gotta do. So he gets the figure back and he's like, okay, I'm gonna ship it to you now. So he ships it the second time. It just gets lost in the mail. Like after a month, nothing. And in my mind, I'm just like, had you actually just shipped it to me in the first place, this probably wouldn't have happened. So I'm like extra irritated at this point. So then he finally is just like, okay, I'm sorry it got lost. I'll just send you the second one I have. And I'm also going to send you some extra figures for your trouble. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I like some extra stuff. Whatever. Sounds good. So I finally get the figure in. Mace Windu looks great. And I see the two extra figures are Flame Troopers from The Force Awakens. And at this time, The Force Awakens sets had just come out. The Flame Troopers, there's only two of them in like a $90 set. So I was like, oh, damn, like, cool. Like, this is good figures. And so I open the pack, and they're both knockoffs. So I'm just like, bruh.
Was
so
the
I take
Windu knockoff too?
Huh? No, the Windu was fine, but the Flame Troopers.
I was
so I
waiting
messaged
for you
the
to say
seller.
Windu was.
Yeah, no, the Windu was fine. So I messaged the seller, and I'm like, hey, like, I think these figures are knockoffs? And he's just like, oh, yeah, I didn't think it would be a big deal. And I'm just like, bruh, like, come on. So I'm glad I did finally get the Windu after, like, a couple months of waiting. But it was very bittersweet getting what I thought were, like, two cool figures that ended up being knockoffs. And the seller fully was aware of it. It was just like, yeah, like,
just immediately, like all the
big
happiness
deal.
was ripped out.
Yeah.
I have never, and I'm gonna knock on wood, bought Lego that I knew or that was supposed to be real that was fake, or everything that I have that's fake, I knew was fake getting it. There was a I don't even remember what company it was. Somebody had like they were fake minifigs, and it was like 20 horror figs for $25. And they're decently printed. They're really good quality. The only thing is like the torsos and the pants are not like the tightest connection.
Yeah, that's usually an issue. Yeah.
But I've not done anything with them. I still have them in a box over here. Actually, that's a lie. Anytime I buy a Citizen Brick one that is actually really printed, I get rid of the fake one that I have of that same like character.
Yeah.
Good. Hoarder says what Windu cost $25 back in 2015. So I pulled up the email. I bought it.
You still have this email?
2016. Say it again.
You still have the email?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't have an email that I got from like 3 days ago.
I'm very bad about deleting emails, and I'm glad I am because I can go back and make myself happy with all this. How.
Well, if you bought it in 2016, it had to be the one from the gunship, right?
No, so so that one actually, the one you're talking about, he was in the ATTE. It wasn't that one. It was the one from Palpatine's arrest, I believe.
Oh.
So it looks like I paid like $17 for the figure, and then shipping was like $3 or $4. So it wasn't 25, it was maybe like 21, 22. But yeah, it was in 2016 when I bought it.
That's still a pretty decent price in 2016 for a Mace Windu fig.
Oh yeah, I was very happy.
You could probably go get them for like $8.
That specific one, I mean, that's not like the most detailed one, so I don't know. Like on one hand, it's like there are better Mace Windus, but on the other hand, like I want to say it's unique to that set, so it might be a little expensive because Palpatine's arrest is expensive. At least I know. I don't know if they reuse the torso on the ATTE. I have to. I'll look it up right now. Actually, why not? It makes me sad. These are the things I used to just know off the top of my head, but apparently I've replaced it with more valuable things.
I don't know. Like I am horrible when it comes to the Lego Star Wars knowledge that most people have.
It took years and years of. I have to. I'll look it up right now. Actually, why not? It makes me sad. These are the things I used to just know off the top of my head, but apparently I've replaced it with more valuable things. I don't know. Like I am horrible when it comes to the Lego Star Wars knowledge that most people have. It took years and years of of I don't know.
But see, you grew up
Looking
with
up
it
pointless
and being,
stuff.
you grew up with it and being in it versus where I came like I don't know what the last Star Wars Lego set I bought was before like I got out of it. But it had to be same era as like Gungan Ship. It had to.
Okay. I mean, like I mean, I guess I did grow up in it somewhat, but like I wasn't into Lego Star Wars my whole childhood. Like I really got into Lego Star Wars in 05. Like I would say that was kind of like my first introduction through the Lego Star Wars video game. And I collected actively through 2008. And then after that, like got into high school, and those were my dark ages up until 2013. And I've been collecting since then. So I guess, I mean, yeah, that actually is quite a long time. But at the time, it felt like I had these really big gaps of things that I had like go back and even like even to this day, like that 09 to 2012 period, like I feel is the one I'm like least knowledgeable about. Like I feel like I get a lot of those years blended when it comes to certain sets, just because I wasn't super like actively involved.
Well, even what you said earlier, though, goes right back to it. It's hard to keep up with it now because like, if someone says like AT, you don't imaginably go back to the, oh, yeah, that one in 2012. It's like, what do you mean the one that came out like 4 years ago? Do you mean the UCS one? Do you mean like the walking one? Do you mean the one that came out in 2012? Like, which, you got a bunch of different stuff now.
The other part of that is also like back in the day, most of the sets were play sets, which that's my cup of tea. Nowadays, there's so many like 18 plus sets and brick heads and like mosaics and like MIDI scale ships, and all that stuff is just like not on my radar at all. So like I feel like there are much more sets for me that like I just like don't pay attention to at all when it comes to Star Wars. Whereas back in the day, like I could probably write down every single set that came out in like 1999, like from memory, and even through those next few years, just because those are all like classic play sets that I would look at all the time when I was a kid.
Will said that he likes the arm printing version, but all the figs from Palpatine's arrest are fire.
It's a great set. It's just a shocker they've not done that again since then.
Give it time.
I always said if they redid that set, that'd be prime like diorama territory, but at this point, you don't really do the dioramas anymore, so I'm not even sure.
They came and went. George, did you bring any mocks to the table?
I did. Richard challenged me, said I couldn't find any Star Wars mocks that you probably wouldn't have seen or didn't know who they were from. So I dug back on my feed.
Well, that's Jay. When he says dug back, it means that he pulls out like the Polaroid photos that he's like scanned in.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh.
Real quick before we get into it, I do just want to say shout out to the group who bought Brick Shelf. Like, was super devastated when like it was looking like they might just close down the website. But I'm super glad that Brick Shelf still exists. Like it's just like an all-time classic archive of Lego photos, and I hope we get to keep that forever.
Guess I'm not familiar with Brick Shelf.
I'm done with my Brick Shelf PSA. If you've not looked at Brick Shelf, it's definitely worth it's like
Brick Shelf like an easier to go along brick link if you're looking for like older sets and stuff, right?
No, it's not. They don't sell things at all. It's literally just a photo hosting service.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it's a way of knowing like all the you can list stuff out in chronological order, right?
No, it is literally just like people just uploaded like photos of Lego stuff. It's a super rudimentary website, but like at the time, that was like the one place everyone put all their pictures of like mocks and stuff. I mean, there's some official set photos as well, but like
I'm thinking of then.
Oh, that's kind of a cool site, Jay.
Yeah, Brick Shelf is amazing. Like, there's some just like classic stuff from like old Lego conventions, old like set photos in high quality that like were ripped from online. But like, there's some there's some really good stuff there you can't find anywhere else. When I was a kid and I wanted to see like pictures of Lego stuff, I would go to Brick Shelf and type in like, Star Wars or whatever, and that's where you would see everything, like old pictures of people's collections from early 2000s and mocks around that time. It's like a Lego like community time capsule, I would say. It's a really cool resource.
I'll have to go look that up.
Did you find the mocks?
All right, so this is a modern marine gunship that I built. I don't remember how long. I don't remember how long ago this was now. 4 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've got I think the 2013 gunship, and I wanted to kind of update it, do it myself. Of course, it's a lot smaller. This is roughly about the size of what a Huey helicopter would be in real life.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like, obviously, like the actual gunship is the in-cannon gunship is based on like a military vehicle. But it's like a kind of like a reversion back to making it look like a real world military vehicle from the Star Wars design.
Yeah, and I think I still have this somewhere packed away. I don't think I've shown it since a show in 2021. So I hope it's still here somewhere.
I remember you sending me the pictures of that.
It was a fun little build. Got some printed parts from brick designers in it. But I was really hoping Lego would do a cooler gunship, and then they released the UCS one. I've yet to buy it.
It's retired now.
Kind of got burned out on the UCS sets.
Yeah,
they're space hogs. So
yes, they are. Especially that gunship. The wingspan on that thing is insane.
Yeah, no, it's literally sitting on one of these shelves up top, and the only thing else that fits on the shelf is the UCS land speeder because it goes underneath the wings.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I always wanted the drop ship, never bought it, so I'm like, well, I'll just make one. So,
oh, sick! That's cool.
And actually made it to where it would carry an Abrams tank. So,
are those mouthpieces the ones from the Brickmania Huey?
No, they are. Oh my gosh, Brick Designers had a sticker pack for their Huey. So, but yeah, here got it hooked up to the Abrams and actually got a picture of it picking it up.
That's cool. That's pretty sweet.
But yeah, I haven't priced that drop ship with the turbo tank lately, or not turbo tank, the crawler. But I'm sure it's not cheap still.
It's like
eventually I'll get it. But and then the last one, let me get to it. Did a modern Marine X-Wing for we put it on the Macon Island down at the San Diego store.
Oh, nice.
No, stay down.
That's all I've got, Richard. Short and sweet.
Well, I told George to bring Star Wars, but I did not.
Yeah, Richard did not listen to his own assignment.
I did not. I wanted to start, which like I normally do, by going with like the stuff that Lego's leaked or released. We've got a picture of the next car, the Lego Icon car, the Shelby Cobra.
Oh, okay.
I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I won't buy it, but
so it's a Ford.
No, I actually like the Cobras. I mean, what am I gonna do with it?
I'm on the fence because I really loved that car growing up, especially in that color.
The fact that the dash is signed is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stay down.
I got a really.
You muted yourself.
That's mean, Richard.
I didn't do it.
No, it wasn't me.
The dog bumped the mouse.
Oh,
He's
I was
trying
about
to
to
get up
say,
here and get a treat. And he
my-
bumped the mouth.
my whole entire
Sorry,
mouth is not
Richard.
on this screen. It's on this screen over here now.
Gene was talking and then he
Sorry.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
cool idea for what Richard could do with it is he could buy it and then just give it to me.
Yeah.
I could. But that would require me buying it.
That's the catch, isn't it?
It is. That's a shitty part. I mean, it'd be cool if I bought everyone in here a set that they didn't have that they wanted.
You should
But-
do that. You should
but-
really do that.
I should, but I don't know about that. I'll make everyone a deal. All right. I have a somewhat rough estimate of how many pieces are in Bastogne. If you can come up to me at Brick Fair and guess within
That ain't
100
fair.
pieces
That ain't fair. I'm not going to be there.
of how many pieces are in there, I will buy you a Lego set of your choice.
Whoa. Okay.
But you're going to be off, I promise.
42,305.
More than that already.
Oh, gosh.
You got to realize the castle I had was 120,000. So it's up there.
I think that's a cool car.
And it's pretty cool. I don't understand the $100 on the dash.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Is that to pay the tow truck driver when he comes to get you?
Probably.
Ford humor.
It is.
Trolls.
I don't know. It makes it seem like some nefarious activities happening in that car. If you ask me.
You get like a little mirror piece with white lines on it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Bricklink Designer Program sets. I think this hot air balloon is actually pretty cool.
That actually is pretty sweet.
I'm not going to buy it. Once again, I will not pay the money for these Bricklink Designer sets. I think that it has become one of those niche markets where people buy them as soon as they get released just so they can hoard them and sell them for like double the price immediately.
This is why
I
we
would
can't
never
have
do
nice
that.
things.
So I won't buy it, but it is cool. I love the design of like the actual balloon. Same thing with this. I would love another pirate set, but it's a Bricklink Designer stuff. I'm staying away from it. I love the trees though. The trees are pretty
Late
epic.
anyway.
Those are some nice trees, yeah.
Next, same thing.
Yeah.
Another one of the Bricklink Designer things. I don't think this one made it.
I don't think it did.
Cascadia said, "I'll take a guess if you promise that you'll buy me a mint condition sealed Cloud City."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be so far off, it's not going to be funny.
No, but would you honor that though? If
I mean, I'll honor it, but you got to be within, like I said, you got to be within 100 pieces.
so it's that you're claiming that you know within 100 pieces how many parts are in that box.
Yeah.
Just about, yeah. But you also got to realize in that case, I'm putting what, $11,000 on the line?
We don't know.
Okay. At that point, it's a I don't know. It's worth just telling everyone to go up and shout random numbers to you.
Right.
And like, what if I am wrong? What if you pull it apart and it's, you still got to be within the 100. So if I said there was 400,000 in there and you guessed 300,000, but it was only 100,000, you're still not there.
See, I honestly don't want to know how many parts I have in a big build.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, honestly.
Yeah, because then you start calculating the math on what it cost you, and
Yeah.
You mean you have to pay for this stuff?
at some point,
All I
On
do
the record, yeah.
All I do is fill out this Lego order form, and they just send them to me. There's only one problem I have with this set, by the way, or this design. I don't know how many people have been here around the channel for a while. I know Will is one of them. Gene is not. I mean, Gene is, and Gene will know, but George is not. I literally, when I started my castle, wanted to sit down and make my own custom printed faction. And they were literally purple and gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's not this straight design, but I literally had purple and gold with like chainmail. Like I
So they
still
took your
have.
intellectual property.
Do what?
I said they stole your intellectual property.
Like I still have 100 of them. Like I printed them. Like I own them. But I will say mine did have a dragon on the chest, and I don't know what that is. It's like the eye of the beholder. I gotta show George a picture of that. George isn't. I haven't sent those to George. I should have sent one in your package, and I didn't even think about it.
Next package.
If there's, the thing was when I printed them, I was like, if someone has one of these, then they've got it because they know me. I think I've only handed out like maybe 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Next is this. I think this is pretty cool. It splits into half like dollhouse style, so you get both sides of it. They didn't show any kind of pictures of it on here, but for anyone that went to Brickworld, you've seen it. And then the train.
That is a cool train.
That's right.
That's a really cool train.
The old Santa Fe Express vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how, by the way, there's just like a random car with people standing on it.
Yeah, it's, throw the minifigs in the car, no big deal.
No roof, no nothing. Cascadia said he's buying this train.
That train is sick. It's a
But
cool train.
to get on to Mox, if any of y'all are on Instagram, y'all probably saw this. Mark of Allworth. This is pretty dope.
That's pretty sweet.
That is pretty cool.
Like I was gonna take a guess, and I don't know. I didn't see this being named anywhere, but I'm gonna take a guess and say it's some kind of like blacksmith forge. I mean, it definitely looks like they're hammering out weapons there.
Yeah.
And I love how they're showing like the weapon being pulled out, and it's
Still hot, yeah.
translucent red.
That's cool.
My only dislike about this is the yellow minifigs. I'm still against them. I don't know why.
I agree. I think Lego just needs to ditch the yellow figure in its entirety.
I think it's the way that it needs to go to the new era. That needs to be like the changeover. No more yellow.
I totally agree.
But all this stuff is really, really sweet.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
That's
fireplace.
The build is really clean.
I've never even seen that quarter dome. How big is that? It's like a
This?
6. No, above it, the dome, like on the helmet. That's like a big dome. Like what? Like that's like a 6x6 almost. It looks like.
It's a 6x6.
That right there is 3, and then that's 3.
When did that come out? I didn't even know that existed.
I don't know. In sand green at that.
I've been out of the game too long. Clearly.
Yeah, I wonder if that's even an actual available part.
Get down, bingo. Not tonight.
Let's say Lego 6.
Yeah, we got them in stock.
Quarter dome.
What'd they come with?
I don't remember. I'm look it up right quick.
Almost looks like it's a sawmill too. If you look over there on the right hand side,
Yeah.
looks like a saw blade maybe.
It's 5x5, not 6x6.
Okay.
And sand green came in the chrysanthemum set. 4 of them.
Get down. Get down.
When did it come? When did that set come out?
24.
Oh,
So the part first showed up on the pick-a-brick wall in 2022 in white. Reddish brown came out in 23 in Larry's and Morton's airship. Sand green 24 in the chrysanthemum. Nougat in the mini orchid in 25, and in the good fortune in 25, which is the ones we have. We parted out the good fortune sets.
I cannot believe this part is like 3 years old. I had no idea it existed. That's wild.
you're not alone, man.
So
It
the
looks like
reddish
nothing.
orange that came out in the good fortune set, they're worth $1.10 a piece used.
Sheesh.
Looks like it should be tan and used in the Tatooine Mos Eisley set
Yeah, that's a useful piece.
for like a roof.
I thought I had that.
Sand
set.
green's only 33 cents used.
All these parts that he has are pretty cool. I like sand green.
Sand green is a good color, yeah.
Next up is by War Bricks. This was sent in to me to show off. This is a newer to the Lego building world designer. I don't know if he designed that tank. With the fact that it has printing, I am more than likely going to say that's Panzer Brick Labs. I know that is. But this is a cool little. I don't know if this would be considered like a vignette.
I would call it a vignette.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's on the
as well.
smaller
Yeah.
side. But it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of detail. It's got some perfect caliber there.
That's pretty sweet. I love the crazy arms.
That gun right there is like $20.
Jeez.
I've got so many crazy arms, but none I can use
Why can't you use them?
because they're different colors than the uniforms I have.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I got them from Caden for a future build, and they're in a baggie stowed away. I have a crap ton of white ones that I can put on the clone troopers for the next build.
There you
go. Next up is Insomnia builds. I don't know what I like about this, but I like it.
It's cool. It's unique.
Very out of the ordinary. But the reason it drew me to it is me and George have often talked about like Fallout mocks.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago designed like a red rocket on like a members only stream. And I have a ton of the I think it's Vault. I think I have Vault 108 or something like that. I have like 15 guys from it.
Mhm.
And then a couple others sprinkled in from other vaults from some of the custom printing companies. And this reminds me of Fallout.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like just a smorgasbord of random crap. But like, I know that I got some detailed photos in here. I really like how he's got like the zip line and string wrapped around everything, like all these to show like cable wires.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, I like how nothing on here is perfect at all. They're growing their plants outside. I love the Obi-Wan hut or the Luke Skywalker hut pieces,
Mm-hmm.
the fabric pieces. They've got a water filtration system where it collects the rainwater and comes down in here to all these valves, and you can open the valves to dump the water.
That's pretty sick. I love the piping. That's cool.
The new the lattice window pieces for like the chain link fence.
The galvanized roof is a pretty nice touch.
Yeah.
With the rust and different shades of red.
I think this is really, really cool. Even using the non-piece, like the Lego sprue.
Yep.
Came with the.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Where was that?
This piece right here, it held on the
shurikens or whatever the
yeah.
Ninjago star throwers.
Yeah.
The mop pieces in here in green to make it look like plants. The antlers so you make it look like plants. All the minifig hands to look like vines off of the vine. But they did a really good job with detail on this. But that's what I brought.
No,
That's sweet.
Nothing Star Wars on my end.
slacker.
I know. I screwed up my own task. Never
Gene,
know.
you got anything?
Just two pieces. Let me close a few windows up here.
Why would you have the windows open? The AC's on.
It's raining here.
We got a funny guy.
One in every crowd.
Every crowd.
So again, this week was stuff that we found going through, or Tori found going through stuff she was sorting. So the
That was an
Bionicles,
order.
yeah, this was an order. She pulled this for an order and was surprised at it. Bionicles, a lot of them had throwing arms on them. And
Yeah.
you had different projectile launchers and throwing arms and all. There were a lot of variations on this disc. But when she pulled this one, she was like, holy crap, that little disc is $6.
Bruh.
I mean, it's crazy. You go look at some of the others and they're like, that one's $91.
Good
Do I have
night.
that?
No, you don't have
Oh,
that.
shucks.
And I mean, it's just nuts, the prices they're putting on. That one's 4.5. That one's 37. It's just crazy for a little throwing disc that's 4 studs wide, maybe. Yeah, 4 by
Bionicle
4.
kids are weird, though.
The Bionicle.
It is.
fans.
It is. So then she was going through some other stuff sorting and ran across this thing. Now, before she saw the name, she looked at that and she's like, what the hell is that? And tried the number on it, or they tried Brickignized the camera, would not find it at all. So then she magnified the number, pulled the number up, and was like, oh, well, that's a torso. I wonder what it goes to. The minifigure.
Yeah,
Well,
from
those are two of
SpongeBob.
them.
Goes to 2 of them. But that
Huh.
minifigure is like $17, and she just stumbled on it.
I can't
funny.
think of her name, but Miss Puff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back up. Just a
That's the
little.
driver's ed teacher from SpongeBob.
Yes, it is.
One, see current items for sale. Average.
Oh.
Average there's $25.80.
Yeah. So we've got it for 16 something,
No, we don't
but
have
the
it.
average is 25.80 for used.
We haven't listed it yet.
Oh, we haven't.
Uh-uh.
Oh, I thought you did.
Nope. Job. I can do computer work. I
Yeah,
do the manual
Gene,
labor.
do something.
Yeah. So there's 2 versions. There's Mrs. Puff and there's Miss Puff with a pink flower. And she's not worth as much.
No one
But
likes
she was-
the
Anyway,
flower.
I was cool with that.
Yeah, she stumbled on the legs and was like, well, dang, I wonder if we got the rest of it. Went into all our miscellaneous minifig parts, and lo and behold, there it was.
I was excited when G got home. Gee, look at this minifigure. Look. Oh,
So anyway, but that's it for this week. We didn't have much.
yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to be here, so.
We really didn't think we were going to be on tonight.
But Gene canceled all family plans to be here.
I feel so special.
Yeah, Richard knows the whole story, but one of my aunts had a massive stroke Sunday a week ago. Yeah, really bad. And
I'm sorry
her
to hear that.
sister, she's lived with her. It's one of my dad's oldest sisters.
Next to the oldest.
It's the next, the oldest sister. And
93.
she and the youngest sister have lived together their entire life. Neither one's been married. And tonight we're supposed to be helping the younger sister with some stuff, but something came up. She called and canceled.
Yeah, she's 93 years old.
Yeah, 93 years old. And 3 weeks ago, she was out weed eating in her yard
Wow.
Wow.
at 93.
I talked to a customer yesterday, and she told me she's 87 years old, and every morning she wakes up and runs 2 miles. And I asked her how she does it, and she said that she had 2 robotic knees, and I was like, well, that's unfair. You're
Yeah.
half robot.
The rest of us are at a disadvantage there.
Yeah.
Right.
My knees hurt. Yours don't. I don't understand it. But to get back to the original stuff, how was Brickworld? What was
It was fun. It was a good time. I mean, per usual, I feel like it's usually a good time. Trying to think if anything out of the ordinary or unique happened. Not necessarily, no. I mean, I feel like the vendor thing was probably the most like probably negative experience I had. But other than that, like just typical Lego convention experience, hanging with friends, looking at builds. World of Lights is always a treat. That's probably my favorite thing at the convention. So that
I
was
think
really
it's gotten
cool.
pretty cool that people will build builds around just the fact that they do the World of Lights.
Oh yeah, like I think like Brickworld usually has the most mocks with lights specifically for that reason, because there's such a big like culture and an event around it. Like, and it's cool too. It's like I feel like most convention events can kind of be like hit or miss, but like World of Lights, like everyone goes to that. Like it is packed every time. Like it's always such a big deal, and for good reason. It's such a unique Lego experience. I feel that you don't just get to have it in other conventions.
It's so out of the ordinary because like nothing there that is like, I mean, I know it's pieces, but nothing showcased is Lego.
Right, yeah. But
Are
so yeah,
you,
World of Lights was really cool. I think our display turned out pretty good. We did a little Revenge of the Sith collab with some builds from that movie, so that was fun. One of the guys who participated in our collaboration, it was his first time. I mean, he's like a big Bionicle builder, but this is his first time actually doing a mock from like the Lego system Bricks, and he probably had the best mock out of the collaboration. Like it was crazy. Got nominated for best Star Wars build. So shout out to Alex. He killed it. It's such a unique build, and like I was happy I got to see it in person because he did an excellent job with it. And it'll be at Brick Fair, so you'll get to see it. I don't even want to spoil it. I just want you to just show up and see it.
I was about to ask you, are you going to be at Brick Fair?
More than likely, yeah.
This will be the first year since I have been going and displaying that I have a spot behind a table.
Hold on, wait, what? What do you mean?
Last year, my build was 360 degree like viewing. So they
like on an island. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't on an island, but they put me on a section off of a table where I had nowhere to really sit.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Then the year before that, it was the exact same thing. So this year, I purposely built something that, yes, it has details in the back, but does it matter? No. And I'll be actually in the main hall this time. Every other time I've been in the back hall.
Got you. Okay, yeah, that's much better.
So it'll be a different experience for me.
That's what's up.
I'm excited for it. It'll be my second convention this year is next Friday. So next Wednesday is going to be, well, from now until next Wednesday, hopefully when I do the stream next Wednesday, it's going to be the calm down stream because other than me coming in Thursday and packing everything that's left, I'll be done.
Got you.
And this will actually be, which I'll talk about it more on some videos, but I am actually going to pack Bastogne up and it will not come out of the boxes until I take it to Brick Fair to display it. It'll be put back in the boxes and it will not come out until I take it to Bricksboro to display it.
Okay, nice.
Unless there's some like crazy complications of like a building not really making it or me seeing like a really weak design point when traveling with it, everything's going to stay in the box.
He'll tear it apart and start over.
I won't.
Yeah.
I have to get the snow done. But I did tear apart the castle twice. I did tear apart Bastogne once already. I've already displayed Bastogne, Jay. I had everything built. Bastogne was done. I displayed it, and as I was displaying it and like talking to people about it, I realized what I wanted to change with it and came home and like I've rebuilt this entire city in 3 months.
That's crazy.
Not even
That's some dedication, though. Usually by that point in a mock, even if I see something I don't like, I'm like, oh, I want to change that. When I'm that far in, I'm just like, well, maybe I'll rebuild it again in some years.
It is what it is at this point.
Exactly.
Well, I've done a pretty good job of keeping up with being very, very predictable. And everyone keeps telling me, they're like, you're just going to break it apart again. What's it matter?
Got you.
Kind of like the whole avoiding to do a Star Wars build.
Oh, we already know that's top priority apparently.
It could be. It could be. If I could just decide on something, it would be a lot easier.
We're just gonna get you to start building it, so you already have like a commitment. At that point,
Well,
there's no backing out.
I started building the base in studio so I could know how some things would work.
Okay.
Have I not showed you that?
I don't think so. Actually, I don't think so.
I'll show you this real quick before we end it. Let me pull up studio. I know George has never seen this. I know Gene has. Good old studio. Booting this thing up, it might like shut down the whole computer.
Say the stream's probably gonna die.
It's not as bad as the castle. The castle would like dim the lights on the laptop.
I've had those builds. Turn it on Sunday and come back to it the following Saturday.
Yeah. I tried to render it one time, and the hours that it told me, I just immediately was like, no, I'm done. I backed out.
Like the old dial-up download days.
Yeah.
It'd take 365 years to download this.
I do not miss that.
Not at all. I kind of miss the sound of the dial-up modem, but other than that, no.
Oh, it loaded. Sweet. All right, let me present, share screen.
I'm gonna finish this.
So can you see this?
Oh, okay, cool.
This was like the rough design. There is turrets that go on top of this.
Okay, got you.
And then this was just going to have like a small vehicle on it. And then the wall was going to get this type of wall was going to be built all the way up here. And then there'll be another entrance up here with the landing pad on top that has the gunship.
Okay.
And then the interior. And up here was going to be like an office type thing, like command center. And then I think I think there's parts of this that are built a little more detailed. So like that is like one of the turrets.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Which now that I don't know if have you been on Lego like to order like any bricks and pieces lately?
Not recently. No, not at all.
You know the 1x2 curved slopes?
Okay. Yeah.
They now come in translucent blue and clear.
Yeah, I have seen that. Actually, I've seen that. Yeah.
I got those and a bunch. I got like 200 of each, and then 200 of the translucent green ones.
Ooh, nice.
Crimson Toaster wanted to know if anybody was at Brickworld Chicago.
I was there.
Are you bringing anything for Brick Fair?
Probably not. I want to go easy on myself with that one. Travel light. Just go for the vibe.
So sometimes it's more fun to just go hang out with everybody and maybe remember to go around and look at people's builds.
I've tried to do that one time.
At the end, you get to just watch everyone back up and not have to do anything. It's great.
I tried to do that one time and talked shit to myself the whole weekend about why I didn't bring anything. I was like, God, I was so dumb. Why didn't I bring something? The second year I went to Brick Fair, I was like, I just want to go and hang out with like everybody. And like, I felt like I had no place because like I didn't have like a build there. I was just like the bum that went behind people's tables and hung out with them for a little while and then moved on to the next.
No, I don't mind at all. I've taken enough things to conventions at this point where I can very much appreciate not having that struggle and stress of bringing something.
I think that after a while, me and Caden and George have been talking about it. I think I'm time to do some smaller builds. I'm so tired of like cranking out these big ones and it just being such a hassle.
Yeah, I bet.
We keep saying that.
I'll say the city was, what was it, 7.5 foot long, 8 foot long, somewhere around there, and like 3 foot wide. The castle was 5.5 by 11. And when this is done, it'll be what, 4 by about 14.
Jeez.
I'm done. I am done. And I do want to, one of the things is once all this goes in the box and it'll be ready for conventions, I'm finally going to have like a chance to come down here, separate, sort, organize, and like clean this room up because this room is a disaster.
Sorry, you mispronounced by pizza for Gene and Tori.
This will be a task that I do every night when I get home until it's finished.
I always start cleaning my studio and then I find pieces and then I start putting them together and next thing you know, you got a mock and
There you go.
Didn't clean your studio.
It's gotten real bad considering the fact that there on the other side of this table is a chair that Haley sits in when she's down here. There's like 2 more Lego orders other than this one that I'm separating, and about 4 Bricklink orders that I have not even like, I've opened them, seen what was in there, and just like left them all in one box.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I have to do something.
We did have a fun teardown night that one night.
Yeah, except for there's still like 6 boxes left, so it made me feel like we didn't get anything done. I always I feel like you do a lot until you look and see what you still have. That's my
Amen to that. That garage isn't getting done very fast either.
It'd be easier for me just to take it all, throw it all in one box and sell it and buy back what I need later.
Yeah.
Every time we get below 750 pounds in the garage, we end up buying another couple hundred pounds.
You don't want to run low.
No. Job security.
There you go.
But it is that time. Are y'all ready to end this thing?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Y'all have anything going on this week? Anything you want to shout out, do, plug, whatever?
No.
Hopefully nothing.
I don't have anything particular going on, but I don't know. Another plug to brickshelf.com. If you haven't checked it out, go look at it. Great Lego time capsule. You can see people's mocks from back in the day. It's always fascinating to see what they could come up with a much more limited brick palette than what we have now. It's just a cool website. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely be spending some more time on that site now that you shared it.
I think what I might be talking about is Brick Set. Is Brick Set?
Yeah, Brick Set you can like catalog. It has like every Lego set and minifigure and whatever cataloged, and that's how I keep track with my collection. Actually, I have all my sets inventoried there and minifigs as well.
Boy, this really is a very rudimentary website.
Yeah, it's from back in the day, but there's some hidden gems.
Well, everybody out there, y'all take it easy. Everybody in the chat, take it easy. If y'all don't follow Jay, go follow him. His links are in the description. Y'all all should be following him anyway.
Thank you.
Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Yeah. Clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top.